in the last episode.
Couple of seconds. So you think eventually we'll be able to time travel 2 seconds into the future?
Yeah.
Won't that be incredibly useful?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Hey, man, I'll see you in 2 seconds. Hello, Scout.
Hello.
Scout. That's a cool name, man. If I do say so myself.
It's hard having it when you live in Mexico, though.
A scout.
That also.
A scout.
No, it's a scout.
It's still cool, though.
And they always hyper pronounce the T. A scout.
It's still cool.
I'll just go by my middle name.
It's still cool.
Okay. Hi, this is Scout.
And William.
From Hypermentilating.
Or a scout.
Nope. It's not that.
Guillermo.
No, that actually makes me mad. The scout. It really does make me mad.
That's how it would be if we were introduced in Spanish, though.
But we're not.
Guillermo.
You can do that all you want.
All right, then.
Hi, this is Scout.
And William.
And Billiam from Hypermentilating.
The podcast.
A show that follows life and change. Change.
Change.
Through the eyes of a
That's
father
an old song, eh?
and a daughter.
Change.
Really?
Yeah.
Join us as we find our way together.
Together.
All right, Billiam. First
Finding
topic of the day.
I knew a girl who called me that, Billiam.
First topic of the day.
You think that's...
Really?
Yeah. Look at you all proud of yourself over there. Like you just discovered a new way to breathe.
Okay, first topic of the day is 2 words. Time travel. Now, this is a topic that truly does, like, go through my head at least once a day. Now,
I have 2 words for you.
all right, Billiam.
Okay. All right, skirt. Scout.
Oh, no, don't call me Scout.
A scout.
Okay, so, time travel. This is quite a cool topic because, here's the reason why. Because time travel...
As opposed to our normally uncool topics.
Time travel is not that difficult, okay? Well, it is difficult. It's extremely difficult, but it's not impossible like everyone says it is. Because
where are we going here?
Wait, because time travel would be possible if we know how to go from the speed of light. Now, is that possible? 'Tis not yet, okay? That's why I believe that one day in the very far away future, we'll be able to go a couple seconds into the future. Now, like we were talking about in the last episode...
A couple of seconds. So you think eventually we'll be able to time travel 2 seconds into the future?
Yeah.
Won't that be incredibly useful?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Hey, man, I'll see you in 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
So, like we were talking about...
What would you use that for? Why would you want to travel 2 seconds into the future?
For bragging rights. Maybe there's 2 seconds left in class and you want to leave a bit early.
So then you get... Oh, my... Like, I mean, I guess there could be some use. If you were a spy or in combat or something, 2 seconds is a huge amount of time. So I guess that could be useful to be able to time travel 2 seconds into the future.
Yeah. And like we were talking about last episode, what can we do? We can look into the past. That's correct. We can look into the past.
Yeah.
Now, Billiam, please tell me, how far can we look into the past?
Dude, that was about light. We're seeing light from the past.
That's still cool. We can still see light from the past.
Well, it depends. If it's the sun, like we were talking about, that's 8 minutes we're seeing in the past.
Yeah, but you also said we can see how far? You said something else, a really big number.
We can go back, billions of years with the...
Yep. That right there. That, my friends, is why I believe time travel is possible.
No, but we're seeing the past because that's how long the light takes to get to us. The thing has already occurred. You forgot that part where the past is already the past.
Now, we can
see the past because it's gone. We can bear witness to something that has already occurred because that's how long it takes the light from the event to reach us.
Correct,
But
Billiam.
time travel
Correct.
is traveling. We can't we can't go back to the past. I can't go back to when you were born and be like, geez, she's not going to turn out as good as I thought.
Correct. We can't go back into the past, okay? We can't relive that moment.
You actually turned out better than I could have imagined, so.
Yes, I know. We can't go back to the past. We can't live in the past, right? Because it's already happened. But, just like you said, my friend, my dear friend Billiam, we can see into the past. Correct?
No, but you're just talking. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. You got a tape measure there. You're waving it around. You're like some kind of a pocket miniature Carl Sagan over there.
If you think about it, in the technical ways that I do, that I ponder on my mind at night, we could technically look into the past when the dinosaurs were walking, right? Now, fun fact about the dinosaurs. A couple of them lived millions of years apart.
You're just talking nonsense.
A couple of them.
Oh my God!
Didn't even
just to let everybody know out there, I don't let her drink.
A couple of them didn't even live to walk at the same time. Some of the dinosaur species didn't even live to walk at the same time. Just like the Homo sapiens didn't live to walk at the same time as the other ones.
The dinosaurs were around for millions of years. There was different species died out, just like here on Earth. We have new species come along, old species die out. What has this got to do with time travel, child?
I'm glad you asked.
What did you want to talk about? Because so far,
no, just let me do my thing.
You've just...
Let me do my thing.
What is your thing?
Let me do my...
All right, time travel.
Yes, time travel.
What about it?
Time travel is not impossible.
Yes, it is. It's entirely impossible.
It's not. As of now, in the current time.
Unless we have a complete new development in physics and our way of understanding time, it's not possible.
Well, not right now. In this very moment, it isn't, okay? But just like I said a couple minutes ago, it might not always be impossible because as of now...
I will grant you that there is... No, I'm not waiting. I waited long enough. I've waited the first 7 minutes, 8 minutes of the podcast. Well, for you to come up with something other than the drunken rantings of somebody I found under a bridge.
Yeah, well, as of now, we cannot go into the future because we cannot travel at the speed of light, like I've said multiple times. But... we can go at the speed of sound, and that's the first step, okay?
Oh, it's not even remotely the first step.
We can go Mach blank.
Let's try and get you back on the rails here, because we have a whole episode to do. Like, I can't, we can't have this for the whole episode, man.
Correct.
So you need to dunk your head in some cold water and sober up here. So, time travel, what do you want to say about it? Anything? Like, it'd be cool if we could time travel, but we can't. Like
I've said, this is a topic I've pondered multiple times throughout the nights, throughout the days. Time travel is it's a very intriguing concept because, like I said, it's impossible right now.
All right. So are we gonna wrap this up and you're gonna get yourself squared away for the rest of the podcast, or are you gonna just babble like a nutter for the whole podcast?
Correct. The last one.
Wow, this is going to be...
All right, well, if you please, to wrap up this
episode
topic,
needs the defibrillator.
If you please...
If this episode was a person, it would be lying on the ground gasping for air, holding its heart.
Correct.
Oh, my.
All right, next topic is what makes a good sleepover. Now, this I doubt that you know much about, because... you haven't had many friends throughout your life. Me, though, I've had many friends, okay? I've had them by the hundreds at a time, okay? Now,
Irish.
Yeah?
What do you want to talk about here?
What makes a good sleepover?
All right, so let's talk about instead of you doing this, trying to do this low-level comedy routine here.
Low-level comedy? Yeah. We've got someone over here laughing, so... I'd say that actually I'm doing pretty good at the moment. Now, what makes a good sleepover?
Dude,
good people.
Your comedy is much enhanced by the visuals. You're making all your faces, you're pointing props all over the place. We're on the radio. Nobody can see you right now making a goofy face. Nobody can see you moving your props around.
I'm not making a face, Billiam.
All you just do, you're just saying Billiam and then saying goofy things that make no sense. So do you
Well-
want to talk about what makes a good sleepover? Because I am not really a big sleepover guy,
Yes, I do.
but I have been involved in sleepovers.
Yes, I do. So,
Okay.
what makes a good sleepover? That's a brilliant question, actually. Okay, what makes a good sleepover is who you're with. If you're with people that you enjoy being with, that's good. That's the base of a good sleepover. But here are some things that...
Well, why would you have a sleepover with people you didn't like? What kind of a critical social mistake would that be?
Every girl from grade 1 to middle school has had a sleepover with someone they don't actually like.
How? How did that happen? And when for you did this happen? Yeah. When?
I've had multiple girl sleepovers where it's like a group of girls.
Okay, that's so.
Okay, can we
That's a
just talk
different
about
thing.
things that make a good sleepover, please?
Yes, but
Okay.
that's a different thing, is it not? A
Yeah.
group sleepover
So-
and just like a one-on-one sleepover.
Yeah, so me and Ari, what we like to do is, number one, we like to do like a couple minutes here and there of like bed rotting and watching our favorite movies. That list includes things like The Notebook, anything with Mason Thames or the blonde kid with curly hair.
All right.
So we like to watch movies.
So a movie.
Yep,
a
movie.
good sleepover.
A good
We're getting a
sleepover.
list going here.
A movie.
Movies.
A good movie that you both enjoy.
Food.
Food, snacks.
Gotta have snacks.
Anything sugar filled, anything that's kind of diabetes in a snack. Drinks, like honestly any kind of drink that will help you stay up later. So I like to save my drinks until like 10. What else?
Chat.
Oh, chat, yeah.
Gotta be able to chat.
Troll people. That's always a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Trolling.
Yeah.
Going outside, finding things to do outside, because that kind of helps you burn your energy. So I'd recommend burning your energy before you watch the movie, because if not, you'll just be like shaking.
Key is making sure though that you like the person, man.
Yeah.
You got to be very careful about who you invite for a sleepover.
Yeah.
Because you're getting those. I can remember, you get somebody over and by 10:30 you're like, oh man, I wish this person would leave.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're at a house and you're like,
Yeah,
I
I
wanna
wish
go
I could
home.
leave right now. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, lots of things make a good sleepover. Crafts. Anything, if you can do something crafty to keep your hands busy. I like to put on music in the background, something that's like funny that we both know the lyrics to. Ari,
Silence.
you know what I'm talking about?
Silence is a big one.
Uh-huh.
No, all right. You got to
Yeah.
be able
yeah.
to just sit there quietly. And,
That's what I meant. And that's another factor of the bed rotting. Just being able to like
Yeah.
sit there, either read or be on your phones together.
Yeah, you got to be able to do nothing too.
Yeah, I mean, lots of things make a good sleepover, but I think those are kind of that's like the basis of a good sleepover. Being able to craft together, silence, movies, hang outside.
So like, a one-on-one sleepover to me is better than a group sleepover.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Group sleepovers can
another thing?
go sideways so quickly.
Another thing that I love to do at sleepovers is blind karaoke, especially if you're with someone that is not afraid to like just be
Shaq
weird.
the Fool.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
just be odd.
Yeah.
That's a fun thing to do because you listen to the music and either you know the song or you don't, and you make up lyrics, or you sing a song that you think it is, but it's actually not. So that's fun.
Mondegreens, they call that. That's when you say the words to a song wrong, but you swear that's what it's saying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those go for generation. Man, every generation has that.
What's the song about the girl with she has a pink beret or something? The girl with I don't know. It's something about a girl with a beret
I don't know.
that she thrifted or something like
Chantilly lace and a pretty
that. No.
face
No. It's
and a ponytail
no. Not the song.
hanging down
No.
and a wiggle and a walk and a giggle and a talk
No, I'm trying
makes the world go round.
song
There ain't nothing in the world like a bright-eyed girl to make me laugh
About
so funny, make me
a
spend my money.
girl
I'm doing voiceover while
a
Irish types.
beret.
All right, what are you trying to get at here?
Well, I'm just raspberry beret. Raspberry raspberry beret. But I always said something like, Aura, that stereo man. And I like fully thought those were the lyrics. Yeah. And every time that song came on, that's the words I sang until someone was like, what are you saying?
Yeah, that's like, a
That stereo man. They're like, no.
They're awesome.
So.
I knew somebody who thought that shaboom shaboom was don't hurt your bum. Because when she was a little kid, that's what she heard, don't hurt your bum. So no matter what, even when she knew later on what it really was, it's still to her, it's still what she heard. Don't hurt your bum. Shaboom, shaboom.
Yeah, like whenever that song comes on, I still sing that stereo man because I can't think of it as anything else.
See, that would be a good sleepover topic. Yeah, it would. That's exactly just something fun and goofy.
Another thing.
I mean, sleepovers are supposed to be goofy and fun, right? They're not. You're not sitting there. You're not trying to do your English homework.
Another key thing about a sleepover is always tell the other person we're gonna stay up super late tonight, and then probably fall asleep around 10:30. That's like a key thing that everyone does at a sleepover. Everyone's like, "Hey, we're gonna pull an all-nighter. We're not gonna go to sleep," and then both of you crash at like 11 latest.
Basically, we had hundreds of sleepovers when the three of us slept in the same room. Those are basically sleepovers. So you need, for a sleepover, you need entertainment, snacks, and good company, I would say. Yeah. If you have that, you're solid. Yep. And you need somewhere for the person to sleep. True. It is true, right? You can't forget that.
I never have sleepover. I've never hosted a group sleepover at my house. That's not true. I have.
You were only at a couple, too.
I have hosted a group sleepover. Actually, I don't remember what I did for that. Huh. But yeah.
I can remember you going to a group sleepover and it was a tragic disaster.
Yeah. For everyone.
Well, there's an element that gets into that Mean Girls thing, right?
Well,
you get 5 or 6 kids.
Too. And
boys, too, would be the same for boys. But they just don't have a movie called Mean Boys.
It was a trio, so trios never work. Everyone knows this. Trios, 2 of them either like the other one better, or
trios are tough.
2 of them were friends before the other came along.
So a good sleepover then needs to be not a trio.
Yeah. It either needs to be 4 or more, or 2.
I feel like even 4 or more, though, you can get into problems, too, right? Can get a little Lord of the Flies-ish.
I haven't read that book. It's on my to-be
read. It can get a little bit like, where you get groups and people start taking sides and start figuring out who's the perceived weak one in the group.
Yeah, but that's why 4 is the perfect group number, because either 2 of them can be grouped up. Yeah. Or, like, you can't, because a trio doesn't work. No, so it can't be 3 with 1.
Yeah, 4 is better than 3 for sure. For sure. But not as good as 2.
Yeah, 2 is the best number.
2's a good. You just have to really be okay with each other, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a sleepover is fun like that. Yeah. For sure.
So, good topic. Next we have our segments.
That was a good topic?
It was, Billy.
You feel like that was a good topic?
Yes, it was. Now, go ahead. Change happens.
Okay. When did you realize how big the Earth was?
How big it was?
Yeah, like when did you realize? When you're little, right? Your life is like goes from your room to your parents' room and maybe down to the den, right? Yeah. And then it goes into your backyard, and then it goes down the street, and it just keeps.
And then school.
Going, yeah, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. But at what point did you realize? Whoa, like this round rock has lots on it.
Probably when I was learning about numbers. We were learning about, past 100 numbers. Mm-hmm. And so we were... Actually, I remember we were in class. I don't remember the exact day, but in class we were learning about numbers for a while there in one of our semesters in math. Mm-hmm. And the teacher used an example, and it was how many people...
You were learning in one of our semesters.
Yeah.
That was the only semester you ever learned about numbers?
No, but we were specifically learning about this. Yeah, we were learning about numbers past 100.
Yeah, yeah.
So, more zeros.
The biggins.
Yeah, exactly. And so we were learning about, the thousands, the millions, and the billions.
Your thousands, your millions, your billions.
Yeah.
All right.
And I remember we were learning how to count to 1,000, but then one day the teacher was like, but there's numbers past 1,000 too. So she told us there's millions and billions and trillions. And so we were like, what? And she was like, for example, there's 8 billion people on Earth.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, what? Because 1,000 seemed like a lot at the time
For sure,
to me.
yeah.
I was like, 1,000? Whoa.
Yeah.
Obviously. And then the teacher was like, yeah, I need millions, billions, trillions. I was like, what? How is this possible? And so, yeah, that's the first time I realized, like, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of numbers. That's when I actually learned how to count to 1,000. Yep.
So what did that change mean then?
It was just
What
crazy
did you feel
because
like when you realized that?
just kind of shocked because I was like, wow, that's a lot of people. That's a
Yeah.
lot of numbers. It's a big number. So probably just surprise, shock,
So
intrigue.
So for you, it was the idea that there's lots of people.
It was just one of those moments where it's like, holy
Yeah.
moly. That's like I was just shocked. I was just like, wow, that's a big
Alright.
number. That's a lot of people. I just thought it was kind of cool more than anything. Some of the kids in the class were like scared for some reason. They were like, what? Like,
Well, it's, I mean,
for example, they were crashing out. Watch last episode. Or listen to last episode. But yeah, they were crashing out.
it's still not a thing.
But
Are you trying to make that into a thing?
No.
You're going to be ground zero
Honest
for
to
crashing
gosh.
out.
Honest to gosh, that was...
Honest to gosh. By gosh.
No, honest to gosh, that's like actually... That actually
So,
is a real thing, crash out.
oh, I'm sure it is, like, in this brief moment in time. It'll come and go. So, all right, so it was the number of people then.
Yeah.
All right.
How about you?
When we had a globe, you know, like the
yeah.
one that
That we
had.
have.
Yeah, the one that we have. We had one of those in the house, and it was big, and I remember discovering it. I'm sure I must have walked past it or spun it a million times, and I loved spinning it around like.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
And that was the first time that I was aware, like seeing the globe and the land on the globe, like seeing the continents and seeing where they were positioned and the size of them, how much water there was, and then that was the first time.
That's cool.
That was the first time I realized, like, whoa, okay, it's a long way from where I live to there.
Yeah.
Or it's even longer to there. And wow, there's people who live there, and there's people who live here, and man, there's people that live over there, and there's people that live up here. So I was like, okay, this is a lot bigger than I realized.
That's cool.
There's more to this than I had suspected earlier.
I wish that my realization was that cool.
Well, it's the same thing, really. Like, yours was just a moment of you know, mine was the same. It was I knew that this globe was there and that it represented Earth, but it didn't mean anything to me until one day it did. One day I was looked at it and I'm like, wait a minute. This is where I live. This is outside of my door is all of this.
Yeah.
And that's more the moment I was like, whoa, okay, so there's a lot to learn, there's a lot to see, there's a lot more to this than I suspected. Because up until that moment, you know, life had morphed from my bedroom to the rest of the house, to the backyard, to the front, to down the street, to, like you said, school. And then I knew that the next town over, but that's just all nothing compared to just how much there was. So I was very excited. Like, I thought, okay, this is amazing. I'm going to go to all these places. I'm going to see all of these things.
And you did go
I'm
to a
going
lot
to
of
meet
places.
people. Yeah.
And you did meet lots of people.
Yeah, for sure.
So
For sure. And that's the
clap,
so
clap
it's
your little you on the back.
It's essentially the same thing. Your realization came with a number.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, that's a lot of people. Because, you know, you got 20 in your classroom, and there's maybe a couple hundred in the school, and then there's, you know, the neighborhood has maybe, you know, 20, and the town Vallarta has 200, 300,000. So that's quite a leap to 8 billion. So I don't think it's that much different. It's that idea that, that change, that tweak in your mindset, like, whoa, there's so much. Because really, when you don't think of that, and when you're little, your life literally gradually expands as your parents allow it to, right? As you're more capable of processing and understanding that.
Yeah.
And then you realize, whoa, there's way more to this than the big people were letting on.
Yeah.
What? I was not informed. So same thing. You found out 8 billion. You're like, what? Nobody mentioned this. Why are you making weird faces, man? you realize we're on the radio still, right?
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to make you feel awkward. Like, you know when you
Well, that's not nice.
you know when you stare at a dog and you just stare at them like this without saying anything and they get all awkward?
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to do
Or
to
they
you.
bite your head off.
Nah.
That's like the last episode, pets.
Yeah.
Who shouldn't be pets.
If a dog bites your head off for staring at them?
You shouldn't be staring at a dog, right? Like, maybe you want to do that with your pet you've known for 5 years, but you don't want to be going down the road and seeing wild creatures and being like, yeah, let's do this, buddy. You realize that's threatening, right?
If I do a tamale, she does this to me.
Yeah, because she knows you. She already knows you're a little spaz.
It's so funny. She gets...
You do know that not to make eye contact with it, like to have some kind of a staring contest with a... All right. Well, who knows, man?
Okay.
You're talking a bunch of craziness over there.
Segment number 2. Last thing of the...
Giggity.
Of the episode. We have weirdness, okay? This is my time to shine. Now, weirdness. What would be my weirdness, you might ask me? Well, that's a great question. My weirdness is... collectors.
So you're bringing this right back to the first one, then I can see your energy is coming right back full circle.
No, collectors.
Remember, radio, Irish. Radio.
Yeah, I know.
They can't see all your spectacular faces.
Fine, I'll talk like this. Collectors.
I dare you. I don't think you can do it for 30 seconds.
I'm going to try.
All right. You're going to try and use... All right, here we go.
Straight face.
All right.
Collectors. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
This is your weirdness.
Collectors. I think collectors are strange. Not as humans, but as the thing that they do.
They are very weird people, Scout.
I think it's strange because...
They collect
odd things. It's never,
Meat.
Do you mind?
I don't mind, Scout.
I think it's strange because half the time, well, more like 7 out of 10 of the times, it's not going to be,
So you're talking about hoarders.
No, I'm talking about collectors, everyday collectors that collect odd things like Easter eggs or Guinness World Record books, but like 3 of each copy. Or people that collect Disney stuff. I find that a little strange, especially if you're an adult. I think if you're an adult that is extremely attracted to Disney, I think that's actually cool.
You think collecting is weird?
It depends what you're collecting. If you're like collecting Disney stuff, whatever, you like Disney, that's cool. Cool. But if you're...
So if people collect things that you approve of, then it's cool.
No, look at...
No, I'm not. Look at what, man? We're on the radio. So, collectors. What is your weirdness here?
Someone...
You just type some stuff.
Yeah. Here's a weird example of something that someone collects.
Yeah.
Barf bags. Yep, that's right. There's someone out there that collects barf bags.
I think that's weird.
There's someone out there that collects do not disturb signs. Traffic cones, celebrity hair. Yeah, you heard that right. Celebrity hair. Beer cans.
If I go into a house and somebody has a room full of Disney dolls, I'm telling you right now, I am slowly backing out the door.
Yeah.
That's just as weird.
Umbrella sleeves, McDonald's objects, napkins,
Those are weird.
Nails. Fingernails.
Who says that somebody collects? Actually, there probably is somebody.
Barber chairs. Chairs. Brochures. That's not weird. Plastic ducks.
Yeah, but they're all Disney dolls to me, man.
Back scratchers.
Disney dolls.
Yeah. Beer cans. Here's sponges. Yep, someone collects sponges.
Yeah.
Barbies. Honestly, I think all collections are weird. Unless it's like a cool collection of like vintage cards. But I'm telling you right now, if I meet you and you're like a grown man, not like a woman, but if you're a grown man and you invite me into your house and you're like, want to see my prized possession, and you whip out your Pokemon card book, that's weird.
Well, I mean, how is that weirder than Disney dolls?
It's not.
Oh, okay.
It's not if you're a grown woman and you're collecting Disney dolls, unless they're like cool vintage ones that are worth a lot of money. But if you just go to the store and you're like, that'll look good in my collection.
Dude, if I go into the house and there's a room full of vintage collectible Disney dolls, I'm still backing out slowly.
Yeah, but it's not as weird. You know what's a big thing right now?
How is it not as weird?
You know what's a big thing right now? Look up Sony or like SONY angels.
I'm not doing that.
Dad, please.
Oh.
Sony SONY angels. And then look at the images.
You know, we're still on the radio, Irish.
I know.
I don't feel like you appreciate
Go ahead,
that.
look at them.
So what's your weirdness here?
My weirdness is collectors. I think that if you're some type of collector...
They're just goofy, man. They're just...
Did you look close?
I'm looking at them. They're just more goofy nonsense.
Did you look really close?
Irish.
Did you look really close?
At what? It's just
At the thing?
They're just goofy little dolls.
That have...
This radio, Irish, radio.
Anyways.
What's this stuff hanging down?
Yeah. Yeah, what is that?
What is that?
So, yeah, I think collectors, any kind of collector...
What is that? No, what is that? Seriously.
Okay, cut this out, Dad. A peener. It's a peener. On a child doll.
But that's just stupid.
Yeah, it's a peener.
I'm not cutting that out. Like, that's, like, why is this a thing?
Now I'm on the air saying peener.
What? Peener's not even a word. Like, we don't have to get this going weirder and weirder, but I mean, you know, I think that bears considering. Like,
yeah,
why?
SNL.
What is that all about, man? That's
SNL
insane.
did a skit on it.
Yeah, but that's insane. Why does anybody think that's a thing? Oh my God, this world is getting weirder and weirder, man.
So yeah, collectors. If you're some type of collector, I think there's some part of you that's a bit
these
weird.
Things, these creepy, malformed dolls, that's
with
a
grapes
whole
on
other
their head
thing.
that have
I
peeners.
mean, why didn't you just lead with this? This is your weirdness. Sony dolls.
Sony angel collectors.
They're not Sony, they're Sunny.
Sunny.
Yeah, we're going to get sued by Sony. They're Sunny, SONNY.
Yeah,
Sunny Angel.
Angels.
Oh, man. Like, that's just, okay. Now, that is weird. That's truly weird.
Mm-hmm. So,
but
yeah.
Collecting in general, I don't think
if you're, like, passionate about something and you like doing it, then sure, go right ahead.
Like, I've been a book collector for lots of times. Music, I've collected music, so...
Yeah, but also, if I do walk into your house and you have a wall of sponges...
I gotta get rid of that image. That's just horrifying, man. Madish, that's just horrifying.
Madish.
Well, you are here,
Yeah,
though.
you are, though.
You're skulking in the background, man.
No, actually,
you're
Madish,
part
come
of
here.
episode 33.
Madish, come here.
No,
Madish, just come here.
No, it's all right. He doesn't...
Okay, I'll show him after. But yeah, collectors, that's my weirdness.
I don't... Okay. I mean, I don't particularly...
Or I guess I'll change it to Sunny Angel collectors.
Well, that's like, wow. That for anybody who has not seen this, like, you need to look this up and then...
Dad,
and I apologize in advance for...
After the episode, look up the SNL skit on them. It's really funny.
Yeah, I can imagine they went to town on this.
Yeah.
Wow, that's bizarre. Why, who even thinks this up and then who wants that? I'll bet you they're expensive too.
Yeah, Dad, they are. For like one package of them, $30.
Yeah.
Canadian.
Yeah, they will never cross our threshold, man. I consider them right up with vampires. They have to be invited in. And they're not getting invited in, man. They're just weird.
Yep. Okay.
Well, congratulations. That definitely is a weirdness. Sunny Angel, like, forget about collectors, man. Just Sunny Angel.
And there's people that are so serious about them.
Yes, I'm sure there is. It just shows you, like, people, man.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Irish.
All right.
Episode 33rd
Yep.
concludes on a disturbing imagery.
Yep.
I love you very
love you
much
too.
still.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You managed to square yourself up there.
Yeah. I did Billiam. I sure did.
Yeah, that's not going to be a thing.
Oh, Dad.
Yeah, but it's radio, man. Nobody can see why we're laughing with Madish, who's skulked in the background this entire episode.
Okay.
We'll get him on here one
Yeah,
day.
we
We'll get
will.
him on. That's baby steps. One day he'll
Yeah.
come on. Now he sees how we operate.
Yep.
All right, I love you.
I love you too.
Next time.
Next time. Goodbye.